let's talk about just high school, right? Because we just kind of that put some things in my head as to why I said I didn't know how people viewed me, because the whole time, like, I was in high school and playing football. You know, my freshman year, I came up there and I dominated, right? And then for my freshman year, I skipped JV and went straight to varsity. But the whole time, like, I was up there trying to survive, dog.
So you had a lot of off the field distractions,
Yeah.
or what could have potentially been distractions.
Yeah, it
Things
wasn't.
you was dealing with off the field.
It
Yeah.
wasn't potential. It
Yeah.
was distractions the whole
Yeah.
time, but it was like,
Well, they're only distractions if they distract you. That's why I said potential.
well, they distracted me. Shit.
It didn't look like it from the outside.
It didn't. I masked it very well, dog. For real. I definitely masked it very well. Because there was other distractions that allowed me to, entertain myself.
Yeah.
Be around my friends, deal with girls and like that type of situation, which was entertaining me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was having fun, don't get it twisted. I was in a bad situation, but I was enjoying the hell out of myself, because the bad situation I was in, it allowed me to experience a different scene. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I was down there, I was up there doing nothing crazy. I was literally just trying to survive and figure out how I was gonna get to the next stage of my life to be something. And football was the ticket for me. And they called me into the office and they was, trying to basically explain to me, like, this is what you look like, this is what it's supposed to be. You can't play football. I don't know what happened from that conversation to whatever the case may be, but I focused on everything that I needed to do. Because when I initially got to Gainesville, I started getting in trouble a little bit, you know what I'm saying, in school, because I had that same authority issue. And I remember it was an art teacher specifically. I felt like he just kept, I forget his name, but I felt like he just kept trying me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I had that mindset, so I felt like he kept trying me. So we got into it. He wrote me a referral. I ended up going to the office, and that's how everything started. It was kind of like, sit there, be quiet, we won't do anything, but you keep causing this trouble, you off the field. And I was like, okay, well, I know for a fact football is my way out. You know what I'm saying? It's all I knew at that time. I didn't have any other aspirations outside of music, than football. But, amongst us and everybody else on the football team, obviously everybody's goal was to go to college.
Yeah.
So it was a different environment, different people that I was around. Everybody's goal is to go to college. So if I don't go, automatically I'm what?
Yeah.
I'm a failure. So, okay, I'm like, okay, well, let me switch it up a little bit, man. Well, like, what's the worst that can happen at this point if I choose to be successful? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what's going to happen if I don't.
Yep.
If I don't straighten up, I ain't gonna play football. If I don't play football, I have nothing. That was my ultimate goal: football, college, NFL. You know what I'm saying? And they drove me. Like, what do you do? Because it's crazy. Because when you think about it, like, nobody really knew what I was going through at that time. But I go over your house, I go over D house, Shaq house, I go over Clinton house, and everybody got like a stable environment, and they know they know what's next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was going to your house, your mama making food and stuff like that. I don't have that. I go over Clinton house, his mama cooking all the time. I didn't have that. Go over Miss Jackson, you know what I'm saying? She friendly, she cooking all the time. I didn't have that, dog.
Everything is about perspective, right? Because, and like you said, you masked your situation extremely well, because there were times, and I'll be honest with you, that I looked at your situation And I'm like, man, I was envious of your situation at times. Because I'm looking at it from the perspective of, I see a cat that's, obviously we all talented, but then I see a cat that's like, you got the charisma, you talented, you coming to school with fresh fits,
Right.
always got the latest J's on, and then on top of that, you staying with some young cats, so you don't have no curfew or nothing like that. So I'm looking at it from the outside looking in, not knowing everything that's going on in your life. I'm like, man, he got a good situation right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can bring girls to the house. He ain't got to get questioned by it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's all it's perspective, but like you said, you had distractions off the field that I didn't look at the time as distractions. I looked at it as because I didn't know everything that was going on. I looked at it as, man, this dude the luckiest motherfucker in the world.
You know what? I mean, in a sense, I was for a short period of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of stuff don't last forever, and that's what most people really need to understand. Like, everything, all the glitz and the glamour is good for when it's good, but when it go bad, like, how do you handle that? And that was the situation I was stuck in, because like you say, man, ain't nobody checked my homework. They didn't have to. I knew what I needed to do. Ain't nobody checked my homework. I had no authority figure, so to speak, checking me, making sure I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I just knew what the ultimate goal was, and I knew what needed to be done to get there, and I made that happen. It was fun. It was fun.
In all actuality, you talked about, you said everybody knew what the next step was. Everybody's goal was to get to college.
Yeah.
You came to Gainesville living a college lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So by the time you got to college, it wasn't no adjustment like what a lot of people have to make that adjustment because they don't have their parents right there watching over them.
Right.
They got to figure out, I got to do this homework and turn it in myself.
Right.
Like, nobody's going to check it. I don't have a curfew, all this other stuff. Well, that had been your lifestyle from the time you was, 13?
Yeah.
14?
13 going on 14.
Yeah. So, I mean, you was living that college lifestyle already.
I was, and I think about that all the time. The only difference between that situation in college, well, I can't even say it was different, because, once they got locked up, right, and I was literally on my own. So think about that, bro. I'm in the city, on my own. I'm trying to figure it out.
Remind me, what year were you when that happened?
What year?
Were you a junior?
When they got locked up?
Yeah. That was a junior year?
No, hell no. It was my sophomore year.
So my junior year,
my sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a real difficult situation, because at that point it wasn't like I didn't have the option to go back home. Mm-hmm. It's just that I knew what the consequences would be if I were to go back home.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it was like I experienced a different environment, and I set myself up at that time to be on pace to do what the ultimate goal was to get to college.
So the difference in Gainesville and Miami, because Miami, let's just be honest. The best athletes in the world come from down there, right? You're one of them.
Right.
So it's not like you wasn't around athleticism in Miami.
Right.
So what was the difference when you came to Gainesville that drove you towards that versus being down there with all the other athletes down there?
Because it was just how everything happened. Now, there was no doubt that I knew that if I was to be down there, I was going to be okay if I started like that.
Because let me just say this, and maybe they kept you away from it, but we know what the people you stand with was involved in.
Right.
So it's not like you came to Gainesville with this white family that just kept you shielded and kept you focused on football.
Right.
You had distractions in Gainesville too.
Yeah.
Now, Gainesville is not Miami, so I understand that. But you got athletes in Miami and distractions in Miami. More, but you still got the athletes and all of that to try to stay focused. When you moved to Gainesville, you wasn't totally out of that life.
I wasn't out of it at all.
Exactly. So what was it that kind of drove you to focus and have that single, that single goal of, I have to get to college? What switched? What flipped?
The environment, bro. So it was like this, We talk about distractions. So if you talk about distractions, there was distractions in Miami, and there was distractions in Gainesville, right? But in Miami, there was a negative component that I was always drawn to. Just my people that I was around, people that I was associated with. It was always the goal was.
So your close friends down there was not trying to go to the NFL in college. They might have been athletes, but that wasn't their goal. Is that what you said?
One was.
Okay.
One was the ultimate goal.
Okay.
But everybody else, no. That wasn't it.
Gotcha.
Their ultimate goal was to get money.
Whereas you come to Gainesville and we all focused on getting girls and getting to college.
That's it. No, that was it. That's all I had to see. It was like, okay. All right, let me I like these dudes because it was the same caliber of dudes, but the vision was different.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, their vision is in line with my vision.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to do nothing to get in trouble.
We want money too, but it was like at the time, it's like, I want money, but I don't need money, so I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get to college and get as many girls as I can.
And that was the focus. So it wasn't no getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Like we did little stupid stuff like, like remember we had the water balloon fight in school and like we did dumb little boy stuff, but we didn't do anything that'll go get us locked up forever. Like who I was running with at that time, he got 2 life sentences right now. Serving 2 life sentences, and he's done, last time we spoke was last week, and I asked him, and he said so far he's done 18 years and 8 months. And he have 2 life sentences.
It's crazy, bro, because now that you say that, and it just goes to show you how what drives you is going to impact decisions you make, not just in the moment, but for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So I had a real good friend. You never met this cat because he had already went to prison by the time you got there, but he was one of my best friends growing up, and he went to GHS. So our freshman year on campus, I started messing with this older girl that was a junior, and like I said, my focus was girls and college.
Right.
So that included football and school,
Right.
because that was college.
Right.
So one night, he was supposed to come grab me from my mom's crib, and we was gonna go to this girl's house, and her parents was out of town, so it was a bunch of girls was gonna be over there. So I'm like, I'm a freshman, I don't have no car, but he had a car. So I'm like, come scoop me up. He was like, man, I gotta make this run, try to make some money. Now his run was, he was gonna go rob a Subway and some Wendy's with some dudes. And he was the getaway driver. So anyway, I found another way over to the girl house, and I ended up staying the night with her. And I remember calling her because I was trying to get back home so I don't get in trouble.
Right.
I remember calling him, and I'm like, bro, come get me. And he was like, bro, I can't, I gotta do this thing, Well, they ended up getting caught. He went to jail. He was only 16. He went to prison for 20 years. I don't know what kind of lawyer he had. First offense. He wasn't even the one with the gun. That decision right there, so my point to all of that was, if it would have meant more to him than that money situation at the time, he would, because it meant more to me. Because I was looking at him crazy.
Yeah.
Not because I knew what he was doing, but because he was making a decision to not be at a house with girls to go grab some money. I'm like, what is you doing? The
Right.
girls are here.
That's crazy.
Why aren't you here? You know, that's the crazy thing, man. But, you know, it's like what drives us is going to impact every decision that you make, man. My focus was girls in college.
And that's it. And
that's it. Nothing else.
That led us to being successful.
Yeah.
But see, what you just said about that same guy was some of the same type of decisions that was being made down there.
Yeah.
So, and you know, it's you are who you're around, man.
Yeah, you would have got roped into something.
Yeah. It's just is what it is. That's how I got, you know, messed up when I was younger. All the opportunities are down there for me to fail. You know what I'm saying? My thoughts, my feelings, and all that were to just get the hell away. I don't want to be down there. Anything that's negative as it relates to me and my thought process was there. But everything that was positive was up there in Gainesville.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Although I was in an unfortunate situation, you know what I mean? You're talking 14, 15 years old, and you in a whole nother city in high school, and you're not even, you're on your own. You don't have no family there. All you relying on is your friends and your coaches, your teammates, and just, you know, just the people close to you. It's not like I had a whole bunch of people that I just knew like that there. I just had everybody that was at my school on my team. And everybody really just showed up and showed out for me. But nobody knew. Nobody knew the extent of what I was going through, because I ain't never showed. I never really, you know, cried about it. I just kept moving. Yeah. Okay, well, we got to get through this year. Let's get through this year. We got to get through the next year. Let's get through the next year. But see, on top of me going through all that stuff, bro, you got to think about all the injuries that I had, dog.
That's true.
Think about that, bro. Like my freshman year, you remember when I messed up my hips? You know, I was in a wheelchair for a little minute, and then I came back, got on the field. My 10th grade year is the only year that I ever played a full year of varsity. Mm-hmm. My junior year, I tore my ACL out for the season. My senior year, I broke my ankle out for the season. So you're going through all this stuff, right? It's crazy, bro. So you're going through this, right? You on your own. On top of being on your own, you suffering injuries that's gonna stop you from progressing and reaching a goal that you ultimately set for yourself. Yeah. So think about that, bro. So think about that. So once I got injured, I really thought it was over for me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I went all in with music. I had to find an outlet. I was really trying to be able to express myself, dog, because I had some crazy ass thoughts at that time. Nobody knew nothing about that. But I was really going through some stuff, bro, and it was just like, damn, my ticket has just left me. Yeah. You know? But, you know, fortunately, bro, I was that much of a changed person. People started speaking up on my behalf, bro. So, you know, you talking about a dude who didn't play his whole 11th grade year, his whole 12th grade year, only got footage from his 10th grade year, and still got a full scholarship. And not only did I get a full scholarship based off that 1 year, I had options, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy.
How did that happen?
That's crazy. I'm trying to figure out, like, so what was it that drew you to us, and what was it that drew us to you? Because it seems like I don't even remember the whole maturation of the friendship and how we all became that tight. Because coming into high school, D-Jack was the only dude that I knew out of that group. Yeah. Because we went to middle school together, right? Yeah. So him and I were already cool. Right. I ended up having this strong relationship with Rod, Clinton, D-Jack, and then you. And you came in a year after. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what was it with all the interesting dynamics of all of our personalities and three of us playing the same position.
Yeah.
What was it that because if you look at everybody today, And if you think of everybody back then, we should have not gotten along.
Right.
Rod is the type of person that has to be the alpha male at all times, right?
Bully.
Yeah. Clinton has to be the center of attention, and he plays running back.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You, very similar, playing running back. We all trying to get girls. DJ. I mean, it's like all of us are kind of fighting for the same thing. How was it that, because I don't even know. I couldn't even really explain it.
I'm going to tell you why, because we wasn't fighting for the same thing. We were, but we wasn't. When you talk about Rod is different, because Rod, we got there, as soon as I got the games good, Rod was the man.
Yeah.
You understand? He had his own section in the newspaper.
Yeah.
You understand? So he was the man. He was a linebacker. It was just guaranteed that he was going to be successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, from that, right? So then you got Clinton. When I got there, Clinton wasn't even playing running back.
Yeah.
He was at receiver.
Wide receiver, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they brought me up.
Yeah.
I'm playing running back. I get hurt. They try Clinton at running back, and the rest is history, right? You got D. D was just always different. You know, he was a baseball player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was good at
Really good at
right.
baseball,
You know
too.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was real good at football too. So he playing cornerback.
Yeah.
Then they ended up putting him at quarterback
Yeah.
and wide receiver.
Yeah.
He was just an all-around talent.
Yeah.
So the thing is, bro, it was respect. That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
And when you talk about me, because you asked me, like, what attracted me, dog, for one, I've never been a hater. Like, never.
Gotcha.
I always been confident in
Gotcha.
myself as it relates to women, as it relates to my talent on the field.
Yeah.
So I've never been a hater. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. Nobody was a threat to me, so I don't have a reason to not like nobody.